Okay guys, check this out. This is a big problem. Actually, it's two big problems, potentially three big problems once we start talking about water leaks. Listen, rubber should not be deteriorating and falling apart like this after 2 to 3 years in the elements, especially when I've been putting UV protectant on it. Welcome to cheap manufactured rubber. So today we're going to replace that crap with the Flip and Seal Slide Out Sealing System. It's a one-piece integrated bulb and wipe system that is made from a leading engineered rubber that's actually used in the automotive industry. Now, the other great thing, this is a company that is a fourth generation family-owned company that's actually headquartered in Germany. Two key takeaways right there. Number one, automotive grade. You don't see the rubber on your vehicles and seals falling apart after 2 or 3 years, right? And the second takeaway, German engineered. Enough said right there. Now, we're also going to get into this little guy, what this piece is, and why you might want it. So, stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Wait. I'm Chris, and today we are replacing our slide out seals. And we are doing that with a new innovative product called the Flip and Seal from a company named Jaeger. Now, stay tuned till the end of the video because we're also going to be talking about this little corner piece right here, which is a great modification and something you may want to check out whether you need new slide out seals or not. Now, if you guys have an older Grand Design RV like I do, you may have a two-piece seal that goes around all of your slide outs. You basically have the flap or the wipe, and then you also have the D-seal, which is actually on a track. Now, for us, this has created a lot of issues. One of the issues is some of our D-seals keep coming off. They keep wanting to come off the track. I keep mechanically fastening them with screws. I've used washers. You seal them back up. I've got to the point where I've basically glued one to the track to where it's never coming off the track again. The other problem with these is that it's just cheap rubber. I'm not going to say exactly what country this stuff comes from. You guys can figure it out, but it just falls apart within like 2 to 3 years. I've replaced some of my D-seals already, and they're only about 2 years old. And as you can see, I can just push my finger right into this rubber and it's just falling apart and deteriorating. Now listen, the sun is going to beat down on these things. They're in the worst possible location, those ones that are on the top of your slide outs. And if you guys don't have slide out toppers, it's going to be an issue. I even put Aerospace 303 UV protectant on mine and it just does not seem to help, only marginally over time. And even if you do have slide out toppers to protect the tops of your slide outs, those seals coming down the sides also, if they're in the right position, just get baked in the sun as well. They start to leak. It's just not a great system. So depending on what type of RV you have, you may want to go out there and check your seals. Some of the newer Grand Designs actually come with the Flip and Seal system. In fact, it's the only RV company that is now starting to integrate this into their manufacturing plant, where all the campers now coming out actually have this. If you don't have a Grand Design, you may want to go check out your seals on your slide outs and see if it's a one piece or if it still has the old school D-seal track on it. Now, I will say the Flip and Seal, a couple pros about it. Number one, German engineered, and we talked about that. We just know that's going to be a higher quality rubber. Number two, this stuff is extremely thick. You can see the difference of how thick this is compared to some of my old seals, and that's just almost like night and day. And now the other pro, the fact that it's just all one piece and I don't have to worry about that D-seal falling off. And it's automotive grade rubber used in the automotive industry. And I don't know about you guys, but I have some pretty old vehicles, and I'll tell you right now, my rubber around my windows and on the truck, it's not falling apart. So to have a high grade automotive industry like rubber on the RV just makes sense. Now we are going to get into the whole installation process today, so if you're interested in that, stick around. We're going to show you how to install this, how to get it all set and done, looking good. In fact, I do want to give you a heads up that if you're going to replace this, depending on what kind of system you have on your RV already, you will have to do this on the outside and the inside. For me, my seals around my slide out were one piece on the outside and inside, kind of like an H that goes against the wall cap and back inside. So as soon as you start to remove the outside part, you have to go inside and remove the inside part and then pull the whole thing out. Now, when you go to replace the Flip and Seal system, it's not designed like an H. You don't have to worry about that wall cap that's inside the slide out right there. You're just going to install this on the outside of the RV. basically stick it on, mechanically fasten it, seal it, and then go on the inside and do the same thing. It's actually a pretty quick process. So just keep that in mind, that when your slide outs come in, if you have some really tight areas inside between the walls and the slide out when you bring them in, that's a space you're going to have to work in to get this installed inside the RV. So if that's an issue, I just want you to be aware of that it can be some tight working conditions in there to install the new ones inside if you do have some tight areas between your walls when the slide outs come in. So keep that in mind again. Now, for those of you that may already have this system and you just want to check out the style caps, you can go ahead and jump toward the end of the video, and we're going to go ahead and show you what these are, talk about these and how these can help out with water intrusion and just make the overall appearance on the seals look better. But for those of you here for the installation process, let's go ahead and jump into that. By the way, you can order all of this stuff on Amazon, and we'll have links down below for that. Also, we'll have the link to the website where if you want to talk to a sales rep and find out the exact size seals that you need for your slide out, we'll have that link down below. And all the information, because there's different size bulbs, different size flaps that you may need for your RV. Someone's going to ask you your year, make, model, and they're going to actually tell you which ones you need to order. And again, all those links down in the video description down below. Okay, before we break into the installation process, let's talk about some of the tools you guys are going to need. You need a tape measure, a X-Acto knife, a putty knife, a drill, possibly a screwdriver or needle nose pliers to remove the old staples. You're going to want some form of glue gun. I actually love to use the Kint's Automotive Acrosol, and I'll put a link up to this video where we use this product to replace all the sealant around the RV. This was recommended from Dustin Simpson, an RV tech who owns a shop out in California. This is a great product if you're looking to reseal your RV, but it also removes like any stuck on stuff. And after you remove any sticky material in the old sealant, it also preps the material awesome too. So it's a kind of a one-and-all product. Clean it up and the product's already prepped and ready to put the new sealant down. So you're going to need some of that or something like that. Mineral spirits and things would also work as well. You're going to need some scissors, some caulk, and either some self-tapping screws or some really big staples. I find just to get through these fiberglass walls, unless you have a really heavy-duty air compressor and staple gun, that the self-tapping screws work just fine. Number 8, self-tapping screws, about 1 inch to maybe 1 inch, 1 1/4. You don't want to go any longer than that, just to make sure you don't, puncture all the way through the other side of the wall. Okay, step 1, we got to remove the old D-seal. Now you're probably going to have a screw at the top and a screw at the bottom, maybe just one at the top. All you have to do is take this screw out, and then you can really just rip that bulb right off the track. You can just take that D-seal and just pull it right out. It should just come out really, really easy. Next, once you remove that D-seal, you're going to see probably a bunch of staples. This is probably the longest part of the whole process. Take your time, get a flathead screwdriver behind there, some needle nose pliers, and just start to remove all the staples. A little bit of a pain in the butt, takes a little bit of a time, but just go ahead and get them all out the best you can. Once you get the outside done, the top and the sides, and you've removed the D-seals, you got all the staples out, go ahead and push that slide out in just a little bit to where you can get in there and work, and you're going to see basically the same exact thing on the inside. Again, remove the D-seal, a screw or staples, trash it, get rid of that D-seal, and then start removing all the old staples inside. Once you get that done, it should be pretty free and clear. Now, I had to put a screwdriver in mine to kind of, pop it free from all the old stickiness and tape that was on the old system. But after you kind of get it off and get all the sticky residue, you can just kind of go back outside and just rip that whole piece out. And you'll see how it's kind of an H system with the inside bulb, the outside bulb, and the piece that goes on the wall cap that connects it. And just again, toss it. And then you have the process of having to clean everything up. That's where that Kint's Automotive Acrosol is going to come in handy, because that's really going to help out with cleaning all this goo, scraping off all the old sealant. Guys, you got to remove all the old silicone or whatever you had that was sealing the old bulb and track system on there. You want to get this as clean as possible. Again, like most projects I talk about, prep, take your time. Clean, take your time, okay? We want this new product to stick and seal good. You don't want dirt left behind, silicone left behind, residue. So just go ahead and take your time and make sure everything's cleaned up really well on the inside and the outside as well. Once you have everything cleaned up really well, before we start sticking on those new seals, you want to go ahead and use that tape primer. This is 3M Tape Primer 94. Now again, you guys can get this in any hardware store. You can get it on Amazon, links down below. And just for the easy process of applying that primer, they actually sent me this little gizmo right here where you can fill it up with the liquid and you can depress on this and it comes out, so you can almost just kind of draw on where you want it to go on. So this is a handy little guy right here. And I'm not too sure if this is something the company sends out when you order their seals or not. I would have to look into that, but it's probably something you can find on Amazon as well. It definitely helped out. Now I just did one side at a time. I went ahead and primed it, let it flash, let it dry off before we start applying the new flip and seal section on there. I'm gonna let that flash, let that dry, and then I went ahead and pre-cut some of my new seal. I cut it about 3 inches longer than I needed. You don't want to be messing with the whole giant roll. It just kind of gets a little obnoxious and annoying. So I went ahead and measured, I pre-cut. Now we're gonna go ahead and attach this. And what we're gonna do is, as you can see, it's got this little locator leg right here. And that's what goes flush up against the wall. That lets you know wherever you're lined up correctly. We're gonna put that flush up against the wall. And then at the top, we're gonna open our bulb here. And on the inside track, we're gonna go ahead and attach one of those self-tapping screws to hold it in place. While that's held in place, we're gonna slowly remove the red tape, press it, follow the locator leg as we go along, get the tape to stick real good, and then we can go ahead and go back and about every 6 to 8 inches, put some more self-tapping screws in. That locator leg really helps out to line this up and keep it flush against that edge as you could work your way down. And just work your way down, go ahead and push on it, get it all nice and sealed up on there. And I went ahead and came all the way down to the bottom of my metal skirting because that's where my old piece was. So I just did the same thing. And when we got down to the bottom, I cut it. Had a nice flush bottom right there. Now, once you do that, you can go ahead and do the other side the exact same way. Now, before we get up there and install that top piece of the flip and seal, they have a little patent installation method. The first thing you want to do is we're going to cut a piece of that locator leg off. We're going to notch it off because what we're going to do is we're actually going to tuck the flap of the top piece underneath the bulb of the side piece. And when we do that, we're going to actually mechanically fasten it in there behind the bulb. We're going to flip the bulb back, put the screw in, that way you won't see it. And then those two flaps are going to be kind of sealed like this. This will be the top, and this will be the side flap, and then they'll be sealed up in the corner real nice. But I went ahead and what the company recommends is notching out the top a little bit. So anywhere from 1/4 inch to maybe 3/4 inch, you want to cut that locator leg off. And I cut the locator leg off because what we're doing is you don't want that locator leg flush up against the wall. Remember, the locator leg always goes into the hole, into the crack. If that locator leg is flush up against the wall, some water could get in behind it and you don't want that.
Guys, so what I did is my locator leg is going to go underneath here and butt up here. All I did was cut that locator leg out this distance right here. So if you look on the back of mine, you can see there's a locator leg and then I cut it off right there. That way when I go to put this in here now, get that bulb tucked up under there, I have my locator. You can see I have my locator leg going up into the notch, but then I don't have the locator leg flush up against the wall there. You can see my locator leg is stopping in the notch. It's all flush up and even, and the bulb is tucked. So we're gonna go ahead and secure all that and get that set.
So as you can see here, we cut the locator leg off the back a little bit, and now as we bring in the top piece, we go ahead and tuck that flap underneath the bulb of the side flip and seal piece. And again, we want to keep these two corners flush, that way those style caps will work as well. Once you guys do that, go ahead and put a screw in, flip up the bulb, put a screw in, and mechanically fasten that top piece. And then you can go ahead and take the bulb on the side wall, flip it open, tuck the flap of the top piece over it, and mechanically fasten a screw in there. That's going to keep everything nice and tight and secure and waterproof. It's just a great method. Guys, once you get all that done, we're going to go back and mechanically fasten it all with some self-tapping screws. The company recommends every 6 to 8 inches, and I went ahead and did about every 8 inches on that. Now we're going to jump inside. If your top seal inside is good, which it probably is because again, it's not getting hit with the UV rays and water, it should be fine. You can leave it alone. I left mine alone. I'm just going to do my two sides right here, You want that bulb seal in there because that's what your slide out compresses against. And again, get your locator leg. You want to line that up, prime the wall with the 3M tape primer, get that primed up, let that dry. Same deal, locator leg, start peeling the backing down and start coming down that wall slowly, keeping it lined up as you peel the tape off. Press on it, push it good, get that tape to adhere. And once we do that, we'll just cut the bottom off. And then again, all you have to do is take your self-tapping screws and secure it about every 8 inches. That's all you have to do for the inside. It should be a pretty quick process. The only hard thing is some areas may be hard to get to because it's going to be tight. That's it, guys. Go ahead, take your slide out, exercise it a few times, bring it in, bring it out. Make sure those corners still look good after you bring it in, bring it out. Make sure the flaps are working nice and doing what they're supposed to. They're wiping and they're popping back out. Check everything out. Should be good to go. Everything's compressing nice. After you finish that, the last thing you need to do is just simply run a bead of caulk along the top and down along the sides, and you will be finished with this product. Again, they have this system for no matter pretty much what kind of RV you have. Schwintek slide outs, hydraulic slide outs, it doesn't really matter. So you guys are looking to switch to a high quality, again, automotive grade, German engineered rubber, thick, durable, that's gonna last with a nice seal with no more tracks falling off. This is the way to go, guys. I absolutely love this product. Now, let's jump into that style cap. Okay, if you're here for the style caps, check these out. These are pretty cool. Where these go is at the top of your slide out systems on the seals in the corners. And they call it a style cap because, well, it just makes the RV look a lot cleaner on the outside. But not only does it do that, it also helps with water intrusion. It's gonna seal up that corner area a lot better and help protect it from water getting behind there and getting down inside those bulbs. And they're really nice. They just have the 3M tape on the back. All you have to do is prime it up. I use some of that, again, some of that 3M primer that we used earlier on the seals. Put that primer on there, let that dry, and then you want to go up there and just stick this on. And what I like to do is before I peel off the backing is I stick it in there, and you want to make sure you actually tuck this part right here behind the bulb seal. So you want to go ahead and flip those bulbs up, get this tucked in there all nice and neat. When you got it tucked in there in place, then you can kind of just peel this tape off and adhere it and stick it down really well. You don't have to go back and caulk this or put any sealant around this, and you should be good to go. And again, I think they look great, and the fact that you're adding a little bit more water protection in what's kind of a dangerous area up in those corners up there, I think you can't beat it. So it's kind of a new product. I haven't really seen it out there on too many RVs, and I think it looks pretty dang good. So again, you can check these out on Amazon. I'll go to the website and check these out as well. So again, even if you don't need to do all of your slide out systems, go ahead and check out these style caps. I will say they only work with the flip and seal system, just a heads up on that. If you have the old D seals on the tracks and things like that, these really aren't going to work out, so something to keep in mind. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, reach out to the company. I'll try to help you the best I can. Again, they have the online order form. A sales rep can help you, tell you what exactly sizes you need and things like that if you're looking to replace all of your seals. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Get out there, start your full-time RV adventure because why wait? We'll see you next time.